Hi. In the last few months, I have been asked by a lot of corporates to come and talk about stress management and how to deal with stress. And in the last almost 10 years of my practice, I've had the privilege of working with a lot of people, many of whom have come with the label, this is a stress-based illness and the doctor is not able to help me. Now, it's very curious how much focus is there on stress management today and how little we really understand about stress. It's very simple, but I thought, the fact that it just gets generalized under this umbrella of stress, we really don't understand what is causing it, and that means we never really take action to resolve it from the core. And it's my passion that things get resolved from the core, and we live happily ever after in our lives. Stress is a natural response to the body to what is perceived as threat. Okay, we have something called the sympathetic nervous system. Okay, so when the body, when the brain perceives something to be threatening, the sympathetic nervous system comes into place, and what it does is its focus is survival. So at that time, all the blood goes away, is taken away from the blood flow is taken away from our vital organs and is rushed to the muscles. It's rushed to the extremities, the legs, the arms, basically to either fight the threat or to run away from the threat. Okay. This is also the time, because of this rushing away of the blood, our digestive system, our immune system, our reproductive system actually slows down. This is also where when we talk about the stress responses, the adrenaline rushes up, the adrenaline levels increase, the cortisol levels increase, and it's at this time that rational thought or logical thought is lesser. Now let's put it in perspective. Okay, in olden times, the threat was a tiger. Okay, that was a very real threat. If there is a tiger in front of you, you have the choice to either fight with the tiger or run away from the tiger. So it made sense. At that time, it didn't really matter that the cupcake that the olden man would have eaten gets digested properly or not. What's really important is survival. At that time, it also did not matter to have rational thought. The focus was survival. At that time, nobody is really thinking about having babies. They're focusing on keeping themselves alive. So the sympathetic nervous system comes up. Now, when the threat goes away, the parasympathetic nervous system actually gets activated, which is where, again, the blood comes back to all the vital organs. It's not that it's completely taken away. Most of it is driven to the extremities. So the blood starts to flow back to the vital organs. The digestive system starts to work again. The reproductive system starts to work again. The immune system starts to work again. And again, the hormones stabilize themselves, the cortisol level comes down, the adrenal rush actually comes down, and the blood flow is flowing properly again. This is when you can think rationally. Now let's put it in the perspective of today. Okay, we don't have the chance of actually finding a tiger coming in front of you and ready to bite you are much lesser. The threat is not a tiger, but today the threat is, what will my boss think of my presentation? What will happen if somebody does not like the way I'm dressed? What will happen if I lose all my friends? As simpler thoughts and imagined scenarios are what are causing us stress. But to the mind, to the brain, there is no difference between an imagination and reality. And therefore, the same responses, the same physiological responses get activated. Earlier, if there was a tiger, the moment the tiger is gone or you have run away from the tiger, the threat is over and the parasympathetic nervous system could get activated. Now, it does not get over, and there is one trigger after another, and therefore the stress response is constantly firing. If you look at the illnesses that people come with today and which are coming up more often, they are more to do with hypertension, diabetes, PCOS or PCOD, however you want to call it, thyroid. All of these are stress-based illnesses, and they're coming because of what's happening in our minds. So how do we really deal with it? To effectively deal with stress, you could obviously do the meditation, you could obviously do the exercises, that's great. But that's like having vitamins for your body. They're very important and they build up your immunity. At the same time, if you had a cut on the body, and you were meditating or you were taking a vitamin, will that really help? It is so important to deal with stress. It's important to deal with these emotional triggers from the core. And the moment you deal with them from the core, the meditation, the exercise, and all the others will get even more effective. Build up your immunity, but also deal with what's going on the inside.